So I've been out and about today and I have bought myself a little greenhouse, which I will be putting together once everything else is sorted. I'm hoping it's all okay. Got it from good old Lidl, and hopefully it'll go out here somewhere, possibly just in that corner there that Dad and I cleared last year once I've managed to fix the strimmer. It's an ongoing task. Back into the greenhouse come art room with my intrepid children just outside. We can see we've got some new leaves coming up on trees and stuff there. A couple of them doing well, a few of them not so well, but hoping if I plant them out they'll do much better. It's just finding the time, and at the moment I am dithering. I'm supposed to be doing admin work today. So far I've taken the rubbish to the tip and I've been grocery shopping because, quite frankly, doing paperwork, admin work in France, I flipping hate it. Maybe it's something that as I get used to what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll be much better, but all the different sites, all the different bits of paperwork, I know it's simple. They give you a list of things that you're supposed to get, then you provide it to them, and there's a deadline. It's not quite that simple, but that's the gist of it. But it's so many things at the moment, at the same time. So, yeah, got a hand holder that I'm going to go and see tomorrow, Beatrice, who is hopefully going to help me get all of it processed. But today I need to knuckle down this afternoon and stop dithering about it, pull all the paperwork together so that she can make sure that what I've got and what I'm sending off is correct, and just get it sent off and done. So fingers crossed, that'll be a huge weight off of my chest tomorrow, and I'll feel much better Sunday, and I might even be able to do a bit of gardening, who knows. Strawberries are coming along nicely, got quite a few growing in there now, and one that's actually turning red, so I'll put some more water in their pot. But I think the trees have got plenty of water, they're not that bothered at the moment. And yeah, a bit concerned about these 3 oaks. They're not doing as well as they should be. The 2 of them are okay, but those 3, so yeah, not going to add any more water to them, just going to let them be and see how they get on. Just keep looking after them, keep them in the sunshine a little bit, and hopefully that'll improve. So, scary times. I'm off to see my handholder this afternoon to go through visa renewal application and yearly tax return. So everybody in France has to do a tax return. Doesn't matter your age, your employment status, everybody has to do one, unlike in the UK where you only have to do it if you're self-employed. Now, I am self-employed, but I haven't been earning for 2022, but because I arrived here in July, I have to do a tax return from the beginning of July to the end of December, because their tax year runs January to December, which makes a lot of sense, to be fair, that part. But yeah, no idea really what I'm doing. So I kind of gathered all my paperwork together, and I've got to go and fill all that out and see. But it's also exciting times because today I have actually launched the Oak Suite on Airbnb as a room available to be let. So that is fantastic, and that's from, I think, the 19th I've set it as, which is next Friday. It's currently Saturday, and so that gives me a little bit of time just to finish the flooring on the landing, get the place clean, and put up a handrail. And hopefully that's that part done. Then I can crack on with cleaning and sorting out the Fern Suite, whilst hopefully earning some money from the Oak Suite. Obviously that's pending me actually getting bookings, but yeah, at least that part is underway now. God, do I have a pit in my stomach. I am just, yeah, I'm hoping it all goes well. I'm hoping that the visa renewal comes through okay. Tell you, the red tape here, people might say that it's difficult or they might say that it's easy, but it's the nerves, the not knowing. And post-Brexit, anybody that arrived pre-Brexit, you have no idea how difficult this is. It is not straightforward. You have to prove your business case, you have to fill out all the paperwork that they ask for, but you also have to have a certain amount of money in the bank at the end of each year. Now, I don't know whether I've got enough, so we'll just have to wait and see and hope that they think everything stacks up and give me a chance for another year in order to prove the business case with bookings on the B&B. So fingers crossed. Otherwise, I'll be going back to the UK sooner than planned, I think. Yeah. To say that I feel nauseous is an understatement. Today I am doing washing, as you can possibly hear. I'm also tidying and cleaning the dining room in preparation for that to become a guest dining room. So the table's been moved, it needs washed down, as does the glass cabinet over there. That one needs just tidying up. Then I shall lay the table and that'll be ready. This is all tidied, so that's done. That's all tidied, so that's done. Yeah, things are just over there for now, but we do have our little seat area there. And the kitchen is currently staging area whilst I do stuff. And then my job today is to try and put the new banister up if I possibly can, because it is stone, so I am concerned about whether my muscles will hold up to that. Although I do have the correct bits for my drill, so just to be clear. And then upstairs I'm going to be doing the landing flooring. That is the plan for today. Wish us luck. Okay, so this is an unusual one. These pieces have 3 holes in them. There you go, 1, 2, 3. They come with only 2 screws. What the hell's that about? So I'm going to need additional screws. This is bizarre. But still, it is what it is. We are where we are. Time to crack on. Right, 1 up. So now I need to make sure that I get the rest in line. So I've been using the pole, which I'm going to use as the stair rod, but with these more secure pieces here. So this is rock solid now. Because yeah, I've put in some raw plugs as well. Now I need to make sure that the next one I'm putting up is in line with this one. So I'm going to do the top one next. So I'll use that as the basis so that the angle is correct. I mean, and what I did to start off with was actually use that with this underneath, and then I just marked the holes with a marker, and then drilled with masonry bits. So yeah, let's try for the next 2, see if we can be as fortunate. Now got all 3 up. I need to go and get another screw for this hole here, and I need to get some screws for the underside because yeah, again, only 2 screws. So for something that actually has 5 screw holes, c'est la vie. Seem to say that an awful lot here. So yeah, going to go and find some additional screws that will fit in those holes, and then I'll be back. So after a little faffing with the screws on the underside, that is now absolutely rigid. There is barely any wiggle apart from the flex that comes with pieces of wood. Very happy with that. There is a little bit of damage here to this pole. I'm guessing that's where the central piece was used for curtains, and they've obviously screwed into that or tried to bite into that, and it's caused a scratch. So I'm just going to sand that down so that there's no splinters, but otherwise very, very happy. Not bothered about the colour, that can be like that for now, and at some point I'll take it back down when I haven't got bookings, and I will paint it to fit in somehow once I've decided what I'm doing with what paints. I'm really happy. One job today done. Right, a little bit breathless up and down the stairs, but I have vacuumed up all the dust. Yes, the stairs still need a wash, but I have done that, and I have sanded down this so that that is no longer splinter-like. Vacuumed up here. Time to start doing the flooring. Showed me is that there is a gap under that door. I don't recall there being a gap under that door when I fitted it. But hey, it's definitely there now. So that's something else for me to sort out. But that's the floor fitted. Yeah. I'm going to put a little bevel in here just because it's a teeny gap. And so, yeah, that makes sense to do that. has shown is that the floor here is very uneven and may take some jumping up and down a bit to make it sit flat. But hey, hopefully given time that'll settle. But yeah, I'm really quite happy with that. And cutting there, so yeah, it's fiddly, it's a faff, but it's done. Another job ticked off the list. So I'm here at Confluence Tax Office. I've just handed in my first tax receipt to a very sweet young man that's tried to help me. I'm hoping that I've got it all right. The biggest concern I have is that they ask for when I opened my English bank accounts. I have no idea when I opened my original English bank accounts. I have taken a guess as per his instructions, of it being like 1993 or something. But, you know, my concern is that important? Does it matter when that was opened? The fact is, I moved here last year, the accounts were open then. So, who knows? But yeah, there we go. There we are, Confluence Tax Office. Really helpful, but if you don't speak French, you could be in trouble. I do speak a little bit of French, so I think it went through okay, but it's still hard to tell 100%. Now, time to get back to the car and hopefully find some lunch before I head back. The weather here is a bit mixed. It's sunny, it's windy. Thankfully it hasn't rained yet today, but we've been having a few storms. So overnight, which was fun and games. Now Confluence itself is a very oldie worldy, a small town. Show you some of it. Absolutely love Confluence, by the way. It is a really sweet place to be. And that's the centre of the town, where all the little shops are and everything. And then obviously you've got the bigger sprawling part as it heads out. So I've just been to the prefecture to drop off my dossier for my renewing of my visa and spoken to them briefly. And yes, apparently I shall get an email regarding a meeting. And I've literally just had to drop things off. But yeah, navigating the streets of Angoulême, even via sat-nav, was fun and games this morning. You know, when you feel like you might have been through a bus zone that you shouldn't have been in. Have a feeling that there's a fine coming. But hey, these things are sent to try us. Carry on regardless. In the meantime, isn't this just such a beautiful place? Look at this. And the sky is so beautiful today. Gorgeous place. Going in to get an appointment and chase up the whole visa situation here. It's an interesting one. This is my first renewal, and yeah, I wasn't quite sure what I'm supposed to do. Their online presence isn't working properly. So yeah, I tried to do it online, wasn't working. So I've taken my file in, and yeah, I could just hope that it's enough and it's in time and that they pass it through and that the meeting comes through quickly, because yeah, my visa runs out in mid-June, so hoping that all goes well. So fingers crossed. I think I've got everything in my file, but again, the online thing doesn't really help with what you're supposed to have with you. So, and then it says if your file's incomplete, they'll reject it. It's like, right, so you're going to reject it, but you're not going to tell me what I actually need. So I've kind of gone belt and braces and tried to put everything in. My hand holder, who is French,
and speaks fluent English, she didn't know what they wanted either. So she's given me a list of what she thinks is needed, and yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens. Can only try our best and just hope that that's enough.
It's been a busy old day here. I've been to Angoulême this morning to the prefecture to see about my visa renewal. I've also just had a visitor from SFR about fibre, so that's hopefully sorted, and hopefully we should have fibre in the house for guests from next Thursday. In the meantime, I'm in the Fern Suite and I am going to be cleaning in here and sorting out this. Now all the plastering has predominantly been finished, bar the bit that I need to sort out behind there. So I'm going to have a look at this now, see what we can get done. So far I've put these back in. I've not fixed them in yet properly, so they've not been nail gunned at the top or the bottom. And the reason for that is obviously this flooring's gone in since I think I cut these. So I want to make sure, one, because it's been a while, that they all still fit, and two, the order is from right to left, not left to right. And I'm only surmising that based on this piece here. So looks like it's a higher number, so going to check that out, get those all in, then I'm going to fix them. So if you're wondering why is she fighting with them like that, that's why. Because I may need to slim them down, may need to take a bit off of them. Okay, so we can see that all of those are in. What I've noticed here, I've got these ones missing here. And I think that's because I was planning on making the door, which I'm still going to do. But I'm just thinking back to when I was doing this. And we've since put in this step to protect the pipe for the bidet drainage. So you think that's why that doesn't fit and where that's supposed to go. So what I think I'll do is I'll fit that, get that to fit, and then work on these bits, which will then give me the access I need to down there should I need to get in there to clean out the waste flow. So that's what I'm going to take a look at now, is exactly what I need to do there, and I'll probably just jigsaw that bit there to make that go in. I know everyone says this, but it does frustrate me how difficult it is to get into little packets like this. They've been absolutely sealed up with an inch of their life. I can get into power tools easier than I can get into screws and little door knobs. But anyway, this is going to be for here, as these are the hinges and screws for the door that I'm going to make. So I've cut the extra pieces now. I have nail gunned the bottom of this part of the way along, not all the way yet. Just done up to sort of here so far. You can probably see the difference. It bulges slightly as soon as it's not connected. So decided what I'm going to do is, rather than cause myself additional issues, I'm going to make this piece here that goes around the step, and then I'm going to create the door here because the trap's there. So I'm going to have all that space there to open out onto the trap. So I'm working this out as I go. Effectively what I've done is I've had to put these on the outside because the screws were too long when I actually started putting them on. So they go all the way through, which obviously I can't have aesthetically. And I can't make the wood any thicker. So, not to the front. So I thought, right, okay, best thing to do is put them on the outside, make the door, and then I'll take them off to paint it. But at least now I know where they'll be, and I'll have a couple of pilot holes. I'll put the middle one in once everything's decided, once everything's painted up. But for now, we have those pieces fitted. It's taken a while. And I'm now going to make the door. So that's that first piece like so. Now drop. Okay. So with these, they're drop pins. So you drop that on top of there. And then I can screw that to there. That tells me where that is. Now, at the moment, this isn't going to be able to move because that's fitted up into there. So what I'll be doing is I'll be cutting across to make the door. Once those are screwed in, I can unscrew it again because I'll know where the marks are, and I can work it from there. That kind of gives me that at the moment. Obviously I've got to do the bottom one, and hopefully that'll tighten up that gap. So I've built that. At the moment it's got some wood glue holding those pieces together, and I'm going to leave that overnight, let that dry, and then hopefully that'll be a bit more rigid for me able to screw on the little handle, and then I can work about gluing in the top pieces because they're going to need to be belt and braces because they're going to be sort of permanent and non-moving, whereas obviously the door there will open towards the B-day. So at the moment it looks like so. It's just going to sit there. It's not going to be lockable or anything, I don't think. I think it's just going to be a little port. Yeah, fingers crossed that's going to work. Too much jiggery pokery and thinking about it. Hopefully that will work. My next little job today is to finish the bevel there, and going to also put the fire extinguisher up. Hurrah! Huzzah! One fire extinguisher up. So I've put that in with raw plugs because the weight of the thing is quite heavy. So yeah, just a little bit of cleaning up for me to do, and that's that job done. There we go. So that's the door bevel done as well, and vacuumed up in here as well. And actually feeling like we're almost there now. I mean, yes, the phone room still needs stuff doing painting wise, but most of the messy jobs are done. And even the kitchen is beginning to look tidy. Not sure I've shown you this, but I have started marketing the Oak Suite. And as such, it means that I have tidied up. And this is the dining room now. This is the guests' dining room. So they can sit in here, have a meal. They can cook for themselves in the kitchen. For breakfast, I'm doing continental French style, which basically is croissants and jam or bread and jam. And then they've obviously got space to chill out down here if they want to, rather than in their rooms. And in the chest of drawers in the corner there, board games and things to play. So yeah, the blue service there is for the guests to use. So that's the one on the outside. Obviously this stuff inside the cabinet is mine, for sort of friends and family use. But yeah, just thought that looked quite nice and pretty. Definitely getting there, almost done with the noisy jobs. And as you can see, there's not much left now by way of tools and things. So, bar a clean and tidy in here, it's almost there. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I hope you've really enjoyed watching my mad, crazy week. And please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Try and help me reach that magic 1,000 subscribers number and help the channel grow.